ticketfm.com. Welcome into the locker room, the most sacred of spaces in sports. Talking you through the behind-the-scenes conversations that happen behind closed doors. With former Nebraska football tight end, Chancellor Brewington.
Chancellor Brewington, the six-year senior tight end,
and former South Dakota State running back and Nebraska football assistant, Mikey Daniel.
And off to Daniel, inside the two, to the one, and he powers his way in the end zone for a South Dakota State touchdown.
This is the Locker Room, brought to you by Cap Foundation Repair. Here are your hosts, Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel.
Another hectic day in Husker football means more for us to talk about here on the Locker Room on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jim Brockman in here with Chancellor Brewington. Mike Daniel is out today, but it is Chancellor who will lead the show. So Chancellor, what do we got planned for today?
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Emmett Johnson hopped in the transfer portal. You've heard it probably on the captain. You probably heard it on the characters. We'll give a different perspective, a different side of things. And then also, got some college football, news out there. Coach Belichick might be with is interviewing or has talked to UNC. And then also, got some picks for this weekend, and just kind of looking at the bowl structure coming up. Nebraska could be slotted to play in. I believe it's Tennessee or up in the Pinstripe Bowl, I believe. Up in is that New York, I believe?
Yeah. Yankee Stadium.
Yankee Stadium. So I mean, that's and what that game's gonna look like. I mean, we're gonna go through this too deep here in a second and really look at what's really left of this team. And that's crazy to say. I mean, the Iowa game was just a week and a half ago. But what's really left? I mean, there's not a lot of pieces left right now. And as of right now, I believe that a bunch of young guys are getting reps at practice, right? So those guys are getting groomed. A bunch of seniors aren't getting reps, right? That's kind of what's happening in Nebraska right now. But it's a wild day. It's a wild week. But since the moment, who's the first guy that hopped in? I believe it was Gabe. It was probably Gabe. Probably Gabe or Prince Will, probably one of those guys.
Yeah, I think in this cycle, if you count Malachi,
Malachi was the first one. I think right when we kind of were talking about the Malachi thing, kind of off air, just behind closed doors, we were kind of saying that this stuff, this is gonna happen. Like there's gonna be a plethora of names who hop in here, and we talked yesterday, Bach. We talked yesterday. It was just me and you. Mike Daniel was not here, and I said something. I said if Emmett hops in, I'm a little bit more concerned because that's a guy, Mr. Minnesota. I mean, this is a phenomenal football player, right? This is a guy who is I'm not saying nobody else isn't a good dude, but he's a guy who is well liked by the fan base. I mean, gets a lot of love here. But kind of had this roller coaster with the staff. And a guy where he finished the season strong. And you think he's going to come back. And he ends up leaving. Now I feel like nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. You can go ahead and give it. What was your initial reaction when you saw Emmett Johnson hop in?
Yeah, I mean it's one that I think is confounding Husker fans because it looked like at least whatever that level of disconnect or disrespect, whatever that may be, maybe had moved on with Dana Holgorsen. I mean, his touches went up, his usage rate went up. He was getting more of an opportunity there those final games, and so you kind of thought, okay, he's cemented. And I was saying it too toward the end of last season. It's not like 2 years ago, or coming into this season, he kind of cemented himself as the guy at the end of last year. But it wasn't so much that he's going to contend as a guy to watch out for in the All Big. He's just kind of what you have. This year, I think he kind of cemented himself into, okay, this is a guy that's going to help. It's going to be a force to reckon with in the Big Ten, not just a name around Lincoln that we know. It's going to be a name that is going to start popping up. So that's where you kind of get the worry is it's along with the defensive side. Maybe you can understand that with Coach White and some of the moves that are happening. But that's why this one particularly hurts because I mean, even just for the bowl game, he's your big play threat. I mean, he's a guy that's out there breaking tackles, and you just feel like he can get more than what's out there in front of him. And Nebraska just doesn't have a whole lot of those guys. So it's I mean. Like you said, I don't know if anybody on the roster feels safe after that one.
No, seriously.
So it's that everything kind of lined up for him to get the opportunity.
Yeah, I think the first person, you said it. You said it. Defensively, it makes a little bit more sense. James Williams, we had him on the show. Go back and watch that one. Great interview. Kind of talked about the Terrence Knight relationship. And that whole thing, right? We just saw Terrence Knight officially with FSU, that whole deal. So that makes a little bit more sense, right? Probably see a lot of guys go to FSU, right? Or guys just get a better offer somewhere else, okay? But then now you flip over to the offense, like okay, you got Malachi Coleman, but now you got Emmett Johnson, and now you wonder, just as if the snowball, the domino effect happened on the defense, is going to happen on the offense, right? Is it because and here's the question mark, Satterfield gets retained, right? Right. Exactly. Right. I can't say the whole whatever, but right. But then who's next? I think personally, this is just literally from the outside looking in, not knowing anything. I think Fedoni's a guy that I'm gonna keep my eyes on, man. And I think a lot of people across the nation would want a guy like him.
Yeah, there's certainly, again, there's places where you can kind of connect dots, and that would be one that you do where there is some speculation, even to include, and I don't know where Harburg's moving to, but I mean, if he moves the tight in that room, you could see something happening there. But I mean, I think that's the name that people are going to look for and see if he wants to stick through it. I mean, but it's adjusting to the new age, and again, for Husker fans, I continue to remind people, you're seeing all these the transfer portal doesn't open until the 9th. So you're not going to get any good news. You're just going to get bad news guys leaving your team. So that can feel like the team is just caving in, and everything's blowing up. But they're going to have an answer for each one of these guys. They have to for each one of these departures, and so. Just wait. There will be better days ahead. But as far as, do you think the transfer portal is done as far as outgoing players? Probably not. So you're gonna have to hold your breath a little bit and take the news in stride.
Yeah. And I think the first thing it goes to is not just all these guys leaving. You gotta bring some guys in. And I'll say this: not all the guys are gonna leave. I'll say maybe a couple guys come back. Because the portal is like. You test the waters and you can come back, right? And obviously there has to be a mutual agreement on Nebraska, right? Wanting the player back, of course. But we saw Jamari Butler last year, or technically 2 years ago, when Rule came in. He hopped in the portal and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna test my waters elsewhere." And Rule came, and they retained him, right? So it's not 100%, right? But it's also a thing where, based on situation, based on circumstances, I wouldn't expect that. I think the next question is, what percentage of the guys are waiting till after the bowl game, and they want to get that extra tape, because if you're a guy like maybe a Vincent Shavers or a I'm trying to think of a guy who now their position is freed up, a D lineman, like maybe you wait now. Right. I'm just thinking logistically, if I would be a player in this situation, I would want to leave, right? The locker room, provide a player's perspective. I would think, okay, let me get some more. Let me get maybe one more game of tape. Let me get one more, whatever. Get in there. Have a good game in this bowl game, and then end up transferring and doing whatever afterwards. But I guess it is what it is. It's unfortunate because I think a little bit. I think there's a little bit maybe of a. I hate saying this. Not so much a culture thing, but there's a question mark. There's a question mark, and you're seeing it a little bit more with culture guys. Gabe Irvin's a culture guy. Emmett Johnson's a culture guy. You got culture guys, and Mekhi Gaber's a culture guy, right? Now is it money? I don't believe so. I think the culture question kind of comes into mark. Like, okay, do these guys want to play for this guy, right? And then also, coaching staff, like you see, is there talks? I'll tell it like this. When I've been in rooms where, OCs get fired and DCs get fired, and you're with your position coach and their position coach keeps it real with you, like, look, I'm probably not going to be here, right? And now if that happens, we were just on here talking about maybe the running back coach doesn't get retained, or maybe this coach doesn't get retained. If you came for that coach and you have a relationship with that coach, and they're going to bring in a guy that you don't really know and yada yada, and they're already playing with your reps, and they're maybe not paying you what you're worth and whatever, then why would now the equation just makes a little bit more sense. We came in here and talked with Gabe. Gabe was sitting in this chair right here. You can go back and watch that interview too. And we were just talking about, like, these are calculated decisions. These are not decisions that you just make. You're just sitting on your couch with your feet up, watching Netflix, and all of a sudden a thought pops in your head and say, oh, maybe I should hit the transporter and see if the grass is green on the side. Like, no, you gotta. I believe the captain talked about this. Obviously, you were on it. Didn't they talk about like 20,000, 30,000 players in the transporter right now?
Yeah, crazy amount of jumping in.
And there's only X amount of schools, right? And there's gonna be that much more in by December 28th.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to open up, of course, January 1st, and there's going to be guys posting their highlights on Twitter, every day, because they don't have a place to go, right? And that's just the reality of it. But I think the flip side of it is that is why guys are getting in right now in the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think too, again, if you're, and I don't know how many of this will happen in the post bowl game. Like you said, I think that's got to be kind of a unique situation where you need some tape. For a lot of these guys, especially the guys that have started, I mean, they've got plenty of tape, and they want to get that jump start ahead of that mass entering of the portal. That's going to happen when a lot of teams have to cut down players. Now, a lot of those players are going to be kind of, I mean, if you're not going to make a 105, it kind of is what it is.
Right.
A lot of those guys are not going to be highly desirable, regardless of when you enter the portal. If you're a scholarship player, especially if you're a starter, so make of that what it will be. But there's going to be a lot of guys in there, so it's interesting. And then the pay. I know a lot of people are kind of thinking the pay, and they donate to 1890, and so maybe they're frustrated. I don't think that that's the case for a lot of kids. It might be for some. I mean, I think a guy like James Williams, again, not with just because you're an edge rusher. We see that in the NFL. Those guys are getting top picks in the draft. If you're an edge rusher that can get 4 or 5 sacks in the Big Ten and limited snaps, I mean,
with 15 snaps a game.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
you have to. And so it's not every situation that pay matters, but that one seems like one in particular. Like, well, probably would be wise to have a little bit of a bid off for my services. But Emmett Johnson's made it clear that it's not about the pay. And for a lot of these guys, the pay is going to be close. You might get a little bit more here. You might get a little more somewhere else, but there's so many other factors that play in that I don't think you're making the future decision on a few $1,000s. Again, if it goes a lot beyond that, then you might. But
yeah, we're talking 100,000 more than, I mean, yeah. And these numbers, I think back when I was, just coming out of high school, like, these numbers would have been laughable. I mean, laughable. I talked about they're trying to pay us out, now, and everything's, a blessing, of course, right? You're not going to just stiff arm with some money, right? But at the end of the day, like, these numbers are outrageous sometimes, but the players are worth it. You talk about the amount of revenue that Memorial Stadium brings in, right? The players are worth it, and they bring that in. You brought up an interesting point about James Williams. It's almost like there's what's the franchise tag? So they go franchise tag. You go and look at who's if they put franchise tag on Derrick Henry with the Titans, so that you go look like what's Saquon making, what's Joe Mixon making, what's all the running backs making? They're making 8-9 mil. Okay, we'll offer Derrick Henry 10, and just for 1 year, right? I think that's kind of like what's happening with college football, is like you kind of get a feel of, okay, this edge rusher's over here is making this. Okay, his numbers are kind of here. It's kind of like this guessing game. I predict, like, in the next 5 years, there's going to be real sites that all this is public. And we're going to be able to come on here. If we're still here in 5 years, right, Bach?
Yeah.
If we're still here, we're going to be able to come on here and, say, well, he's, based on numbers and stuff, it's going to be just like NFL. It's going to be literally salary based. It's going to be wide known to the public. And you hop in the portal, you're going to know exactly what your market value is. And you're going to know right from there if it's a smart idea to hop in and if it's a wrong idea. Because now it's like, you're in the situation where it's like, like you don't really know. You're testing the waters. Hey, I know a guy here. I know a coach here. And then they call you and give you like, oh, that's a little bit more than I thought, or that's, oh boy, like I should go back to where I was, right? And it's not just money. I was just pinpointing that because that's what's changed in college football.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind that. I think a little bit more organization in college football would go a long way. So we'll see if they can come around to that. But let's take a quick break. We got plenty more coming up in the locker room. It's Transfer Portal Mayhem on the locker room. We'll be back after this.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Come enjoy a show of the Midwest's best MMA fighters on Saturday, December 7th with Violence Fight League 2 at the Complex, the former location of Champions Fun Center. Fights are scheduled throughout the night, and if you haven't been before, now is the perfect time to go, with Nebraska football in between the regular season and a bowl game. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first bout at 7 p.m. Learn more about the fighters and buy tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
Nebraska's Christmas Light Show is back and bigger than ever. The Magical Lights of Lincoln Christmas Show runs from Black Friday through New Year's Eve at Sandhills Global Event Center. Bring the family for a show they'll never forget, featuring over 1.5 million lights. Cost is $25 per vehicle from Monday through Thursday, $30 on Friday and Saturday, and also $30 on Christmas Eve and Day. Purchase your tickets online today at ChristmasLightsInLincoln.com and get ready to experience a drive-through light show like you've never seen before. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's Nick. You know how much I love beer, and this game day, show your Husker pride with Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of the Nebraska Alumni Association. Brewed by Nebraska fans, for Nebraska fans, Dear Old Nebraska Brew is your go-to for every kickoff, touchdown, and celebration. Whether it's tailgating, watching the game at home, or gathering with friends, this beer is there to bring that perfect game day refreshment. Dear Old Nebraska Brew embodies the spirit of Nebraska with every sip. So crack one open and let the good times roll. Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of Nebraska alumni. Please drink responsibly.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com. Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Daniel. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here in the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket. Mikey Daniel will be back with us next week with Chancellor Brewington in studio with me now. Before we send it back to Chancellor, hey, you don't want to miss an epic night of MMA fighting tomorrow night at the Complex. Doors open at 6 p.m. with the first fight starting at 7. 11 fights are scheduled for the evening at one of the Midwest's fastest growing boxing and MMA venues. Book your tickets today at thecomplexlincoln.com. For VFL2, the Lions Den at the Complex, located at the Old Champions Fun Center at 1555 Yolande Avenue, 15th and Cornhusker Highway. And I've been to a few of their events, both boxing and MMA. They are fantastic. It's a load of fun, a great night. So go ahead and do that. Chancellor, did you ever think about jumping in the ring, being a boxer or MMA?
Never
got.
In the off season, we would train boxing and not MMA. Boxing though.
Would you really?
Yeah, I mean, we did.
Yeah.
Not like here in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah, with some guys, and it was. I mean, the cardio to work out from that is intense. I got tremendous respect for MMA fighters, anyone who do hand-to-hand combat. That's some real stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. One thing too, I wanted to get from the text line to get your thoughts. Since you were a quote unquote a Frost guy, and that term gets thrown around now.
Frost.
Jordan texts in, I've noticed a lot of the guys leaving were recruited by the last coaching staff. I feel as if these guys were somewhat tainted by the last staff development because your first impression to a new program are what you'll, for the most part, develop into. I think a lot of these Frost recruits just weren't the right fit.
Okay. That's interesting. So I could understand that perspective. From the outside in and from the inside out, I will say that from Frost to Mickey, I mean, dramatic change, right? In just cultures, right? And then you go from Mickey to Rule, dramatic change. So there probably is a little bit of truth to that. Great perspective, great little 2 cents right there. But I will say this is that a lot of the guys we're seeing from the Frost regime that are in the portal right now, they are guys that played. They are guys that made a difference and an impact here. And I think they fit. I think those type of guys fit. And of course, Rule is never going to say that those aren't my guys, right? But for him to go out and recruit the guys that, he envisions for his culture, for his system, for his offense, I think it'll be big, but it'll be interesting as well to see what type of guys he goes and gets. Because now, I mean, if there was a time where you thought, hey, maybe we can only bring in a couple transfer guys. Well, right now you got to bring in like 15 to 20 transfer guys. I mean, they talked about bringing 20 to 30 on a visit. Well, you got to sign X amount of guys. And I'm be honest with you, you're going to have to be creative in how you get guys. You're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to go, okay, mid-level FBS, kind of the Kurt Signetti route of a FCS player who plays tons of snaps, Samari Toure, a guy like that. Go and get a guy who's well polished. I think the goal in the transfer portal for Nebraska, I'll say it like this, is to get guys that you don't have to fine tune, or the guys that you only have to fine tune, not guys that you got to reinvent the wheel with, right? Like you want guys that they've already put in work. They already have a polished skill set. I won't say they're perfect, of course, nobody's perfect, but you want a polished skill set. They have good football IQ and they have good film, right? And they, guys you can plug in different places, right? Because not everywhere a guy plays a 3-3-5. I mean, teams play 3-3-5s. It's kind of rare. Got a couple defense across the country, so the terminology is going to be a little different. The expectations at certain positions is going to be a little different. I'm just talking defensively because there's a lot of defensive departures. But I'm sure whoever the DC is, they're going to bring in. I mean, just like we saw with Tony White, Stephon Thompson, he comes in from Syracuse. You bring him in. He's played in that same system. So I think inside the portal, you got to be creative, because I don't think Nebraska is going to be the place for the top guys that are in the portal. Of course, it's just the nature of the beast. We didn't win a bunch of games, and we're not in the highest percentile in let's just be real, NIL stuff. Like, we're just not, we're not probably not going to be able to compete with all the Oregons, the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Clemsons, the Bamas, those type of teams, right? But you can get guys, at the mid-major level who have put on a show. Like, there's some real talent. You see Ashton Genty, of course, he's an outlier in some cases, but there's some real talent out there. I mean, you look at the Mountain West, there's some real guys. You kind of look at that was the conference in like UCF, UC, is that American?
Well, yeah, they're in the Big 12 now.
Well, they're in the
used to
Big
be
12.
in the American.
God, dog. Well, is Memphis in the Big 12?
No, they're in the American.
Okay,
Yeah.
so some leftover teams in the American, and maybe some FCS schools, maybe, right? But I'm not. Obviously you'll get some guys from some, Northwestern and some guys like that, of course. But I think with the amount of guys you have to get, this is not a regular scenario, and I would anticipate it, a few more bigger names in there too. So you're gonna have some big shoes to fill.
Well, I agree with that, and that's what's going to be interesting about this offseason is Nebraska, I think, has done okay with the portal, kind of filling holes over the years. They tried to take their big swings. I don't know if you've gotten huge portal names as far as like guys that are in the portal. Like O'Shawn Mathis was a big name that a lot of teams wanted. So maybe, that's kind of an outlier. But is Nebraska willing to step up and be a top contender for some of the bigger names in the portal? Because every team across the country, to include the teams with larger payrolls, are going to be going after, those type of guys. So it's going to be fascinating. But, to keep in mind, Nebraska can do it. They got some pretty good recruits out of the high school level that had some options this past year, even without a defensive coordinator in place. So, I mean, but I'm interested to see if they kind of maintain what they've done in the portal, or if they step it up, because based on the losses this year, it feels like, you're just losing, 2 or 3 starters. You got to at least replace them with several starters and then some depth pieces.
Yeah, I think I've said it, but I'll keep saying it until it happens. I'll try to speak into existence, but you gotta get some real dynamic playmakers around Raiola. And I think you got to figure out what type of size receiver you want. I think the most effective guys haven't been the bigger guys. I think they've kind of been that 6 foot, 5'11", 6'1" type of guy who runs good routes, is efficient, in ball tracking, can high point balls, but just like real playmakers. Like, I don't think the big body guys is the Raiola style. I think he just needs guys who can run routes. I think that's what you need. You need route runners. You need obviously Tank Dell's in the NFL, but a guy like that Dana Holgorsen had at Houston, like a guy that can run routes, but also, got breakaway speed. That's obviously a first round draft pick, but you need a type of guy like that. And I'm telling you, there's guys out there, right? So it's not like you can't find. I've seen a Kentucky guy in the portal. Everyone's trying to add him on Twitter, and of course, I mean, do those type of things. That type of thing, gets recruits' attentions. Because they're on our phone. They're on their phones probably a little bit more than you are. Like, just because just how social media is. And then, the running back situation now is a question mark too. What type of back fits a Holgorsen offense? I would have to go back and watch a little bit more tape and see, okay, run style and, this and this. But you need first of all, I don't think it's a need for a big bruiser. A big bruiser, a guy that, you would get in a traditional Big Ten system. I think it's more of like, them Oregon backs back in the day, like, a little bit more shiftier, a little bit, more dynamic, can catch screens, can also run block though. Kind of like Ohio State kind of has that tandem. Indiana, I really like Indiana's backs. You have the tandem between Ellison and number 17. I forget his name. Great player. No disrespect there, but you kind of have that tandem where this guy can catch balls out the backfield. He's really like elusive, like a receiver, can run routes like a receiver. And then this guy still can kind of do the same thing, but he's a little bit more traditional running back. So you can have fun there. You can have fun. This is an air raid offense. Like, this isn't something where you got to get the traditional Big Ten guys and you surround Dylan Riley with as much talent as you can, because this will be the state of the team is this offense next year. It's not going to be so much the defense. It's going to be the offense next year.
And they're losing a couple pieces on the offensive line. Do you think that they need to get starters out of the portal on the offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys who played. You need guys who played snaps. I don't care if they played, smaller snaps at a lot of snaps at a smaller school. You need guys who play snaps. You ain't got time. You need to win now. Like, you ain't got time to develop a left tackle who, been at Tennessee for a year, or been at Florida, what I'm saying, wherever, right? I'm just thinking of a big school.
It's definitely interesting, but you did say something that is true and more true than ever, that you need to win now. It's crazy that we're kind of already at that spot with Coach Rule. All right, let's get a quick break here on the locker room. We'll be back with more from Chancellor Brewington.
Slay the holidays this year with a gift that'll really get them going. One that's built to win, like the new Honda CR-FR Motocrosser. One that's built for fun, like a Honda Mini Moto. Or one for each member of the family, like a Honda CR-F Trail Bike. At Rod's Power Sports, you'll find the motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side they'll love. During the Honda Gifts That Go sales event, you can slay the streets in style with a Grom Mini Moto, slay the trails with the CR-F 50F, or pile into a Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew that can carry 6 elves over the fields and through the woods all year long. This year, don't just give any gift. Give the gift of outdoor adventure with a ride they'll never forget. Don't miss out. Head to Rod's Power Sports in Lincoln, Nebraska during the Honda Gifts That Go sales event. It's your chance to slay the holidays and your gift list. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for complete program and safety details.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Who wants free diamonds? This holiday season, as a thank you for shopping with us, Sartor Heyman Jewelers is giving you free diamonds. Now through December 6th, receive a pair of sparkling diamond stud earrings, a stunning diamond pendant, or a gorgeous diamond tennis bracelet for free with your qualifying purchase. We only have a limited number to give away, so once they're gone, they're gone. Don't wait on this one. Visit Sartor Heyman Jewelers, where your gift shopping shines brighter. In Lincoln at South Point Mall, downtown, and in Grand Island on State Street.
League One Volleyball is coming to Omaha this January. Featuring Olympic medalist Jordan Larson and Justine Wong-Arantes, Love Omaha Volleyball is Omaha's newest pro team. The inaugural season will showcase some of the world's best volleyball players, from medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 24th at the Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Visit lovb.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Hey guys, it's Nick. You know how much I love beer, and this game day, show your Husker pride with Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of the Nebraska Alumni Association. Brewed by Nebraska fans, for Nebraska fans, Dear Old Nebraska Brew is your go-to for every kickoff, touchdown, and celebration. Whether it's tailgating, watching the game at home, or gathering with friends, this beer is there to bring that perfect game day refreshment. Dear Old Nebraska Brew embodies the spirit of Nebraska with every sip. So crack one open and let the good times roll. Dear Old Nebraska Brew, the official beer of Nebraska alumni. Please drink responsibly.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela. They let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
At Anderson Ford, we offer a 5-day return or exchange policy, so you can make sure the vehicle you choose is the best vehicle for you. No pressure. Right now, lease a 2024 Ford F-150 for $395 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 1003769, $395 per month lease for 36 months with approved credit, 7,500 miles per year, $5,250 to its signing, no security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 11/30/24. See delivery details.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Chancellor Brewington and Mikey Danielle. Brought to you by App Foundation Repair on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Final segment today on the Locker Room and for the week in here with Chancellor Brewington. Once again, Mikey Daniel will join us once again next week. Chancellor, what are we thinking for the final segment here?
It's pick time. It's pick time. I mean, it's a big weekend.
Oh, yeah.
This is a big weekend. Starting off, UNLV and Boise State. Winner of this, is it guaranteed that they get into the college football playoffs?
Yeah, so the group of 5 will get one in, and they would both appear to be in position to be, if they win, to get in.
Who you got?
I like UNLV. I went to a UNLV game years ago, but I don't let me finish. I went to UNLV years ago, so I've become somewhat of a UNLV fan. And their program is really taken off, and they were close to beating Boise State in the regular season. It's hard to beat a team twice, so
sure is.
I'm interested to see where this game goes tonight. But something tells me here, maybe this is a bit of a conspiracy, but they're going to want Ashton Genty in this playoff. So,
and I'm with it.
Yeah.
I want Ashton Genty in there too. I'm going Boise State. I don't even know if it's going to be a 7-point, 10-point, but I know Ashton Genty might get 45 carries tonight.
Oh yeah,
he might get 45 carries tonight.
And it's on the blue turf, so they do get to play in that, at home.
Yeah, and maybe that plays a factor. Get a little. It's probably cold out there in Idaho, I'm guessing. Tulane at Army. Tulane's playing good ball. Army's playing good ball, but I think Tulane gets it done. I think Tulane gets it done.
Yeah, I know Tulane's favored in that. I'd love to see. I mean, the Army story is great, and I'd love to see them win, just because I'm a big fan of the triple option offense to begin with. But I think Tulane's going to be probably the pick here.
Okay, now let's get into the good games. I mean, those are good games. We respect them, of course, but these are our top 4 right here. Iowa State, Arizona State, the two teams. I mean, Arizona State. I have some friends who've went there. I have some people I know who go there currently, play there right now. It's just something about ASU I just don't like. Maybe it's because they didn't recruit me out of high school.
Could be.
And Iowa State, I don't want to see them in the playoff because I think they're just going to lose right away. I'm be honest with you. I think they're going to lose right away. Give me Arizona State. Is that Arizona? It's in Phoenix.
That one's at AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Well, never mind. No home field advantage. Give me Arizona State. I didn't like the way I thought Iowa State played good, but I thought there was a couple lapses in that Kansas State game. Give me Arizona State.
Yeah, I like Arizona State too. The running back Cam Scatabo is their second leading receiver as well. I mean, he's kind of their do-it-all back. He's a lot of fun to watch. And I just feel like Iowa State's been like slipping by people. I like Arizona State. They feel like a legit hot team entering the playoffs. I'll be interested to see. They're not going to be picked, favored a lot. But I'll be interested to see what they can do in the playoffs if they get there. Also, Jeff Sims is there, so former Huskers, we got to cheer for.
Yeah, got to cheer for him, of course. Georgia goes to Texas, or Georgia and Texas, of course. They're playing they're playing at, I don't know where they're playing, but they're playing somewhere, right?
They're playing in Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah. So got a little home field advantage for Georgia, kind of a little bit skewed, but it's really hard to beat a football team twice. It really, really is. And it's really hard to beat any team twice. Baseball, football, basketball, whatever it is. I got Georgia still. I think Georgia's going to pull away with it still. I still think Georgia is the team. I think Georgia is the better team. I think Georgia, the way they played them defensively last time, one of the most aggressive Georgia defenses I've ever seen, going at Quinn Ewers. I think Texas will have some things schemed up. They got it, but the thing was they couldn't get off man. And I think that's kind of what will be Texas's downfall in this game. So I got Georgia by, maybe 7 points.
I like it. I mean, they're obviously coming off that very close game to Georgia Tech. They've lost to Mississippi here in the last 4 games, so they don't feel like they're quite running on all strides. That's why, again, with what you said, hard to beat a team twice. I think I favor Texas here, but I'll be cheering for the Bulldogs because it's Texas.
Of course. Penn State and Oregon. This one was tough. I wanted it to be Indiana so bad. I wanted Indiana to be in there and make the Huskers look good. I'm playing, but no, I think I wanted at least Ohio State in there. But you don't always get what you want. Especially when you have no control over that situation. Penn State, I just don't see them getting it done. I got Oregon by a score or two. I don't think it's going to be as close.
Yeah, good pick there. I mean, I got Oregon too. I think Penn State is interesting. I mean, they've kind of got that same old thing where they win all their games and win a lot of them convincingly, but lose to Ohio State and Michigan year in and year out. Well, Michigan's not very good this year. They also didn't play them. Oregon's kind of that, kind of filled in that spot of, well, if it's not Michigan, you're going to lose to the top 2 teams in the Big Ten. So that's where it definitely feels like Penn State's a long shot just because of the last several years. So I'm going to go with Oregon.
SMU, Clemson. SMU's only loss was early in the year to BYU, 18-15. Clemson kind of has that average, that above average ACC schedule. They go and lose to South Carolina last week. I still think, this Clemson team has a lot of holes, of course. I mean, it's obvious if you watch them. It's not like, it's not the Clemson of old, but I think they get it done against SMU. I think they big brother them. In this game. SMU is playing great ball. It really has nothing to do with SMU. I think Clemson just figures it out and I think Clemson makes a mini run in this college football playoff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. I think Clemson too, they've got like less to worry about. Like it's pretty defined. You win, you're in, you lose, you're out.
Right.
SMU's kind of got this whole question mark of, well, if they lose, what's it going to look like? So just kind of more uncertainty there. You got to give anybody credit. I know they haven't played a very good schedule, but anybody that goes 11-1, much like Indiana, I mean, that's a heck of a run. I'm going to lean toward SMU to get the win, but I see where you're coming from. Clemson certainly could take this.
Yeah. And so with that being said, man, I mean, when we come back on Monday, we're going to have a lot to talk about. I think Monday we'll have some news. That's all I'll say. We'll have some news either way. We'll be able to talk about these scores and maybe some more people in the transfer portal.
Can you believe it's only been a week since the Iowa game? It feels like a month ago.
Yeah, I'm like, when I said, oh yeah, we just played Iowa last week, I'm like, wait. I'm like thinking, like, bro, we've had a wild week of news. I appreciate everyone coming on the locker room. Mike Daniel will be in on Monday. You're listening to the locker room on 93.7 The Ticket, 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a